Welcome back everybody, Kubo704 here, and today we are here with the new score attack, obviously here with V4Kak, probably the best damage unit in the game, according to the tier list, and V3Bruno, the brand new Bucciaretti. If you haven't seen my first summoning video, obviously I pulled the new Bucciaretti, very happy about it, and if you couldn't tell by the leaderboards right now, he is very good. Now, it's especially because of the score attack with the extra drop down panels, you can get Kakyoin's extra race. But it's just the fact that Bucciaretti is like a better version of, he's a better version of, what's his name? His name is, Vampire Strazo. Jeez. I was like, who is that? Who is that guy? Vampire Strazo. And just a quick note for you in this video, if you're wondering why I don't play this like, I would Risotto Kakyoin, it's simply because, I've tried to also do it during stand-up, you know, make sure my loop doesn't get to the end, but I can't get a higher score than I did in this run, so I guess this is like a more optimal way to go about it. And you want to wait till Diablo does his next, like, bad effect, which right here, where he drops down. Oh yeah, if you don't know what the bad effect is, the next 5 panels that'll drop down will be the falling intensified block panels, and he makes that one on the board initially. So see 5 block panels drop down. And because of that, it gives you Kakyoin's last replace that you would get. Like the one that you normally only get when you're playing Voiced Vanilla Ice. Because, remember, he does one loop every time he erases an intensified panel or a block panel, and because it's a falling block, it will fall into his erase panel pattern. It's pretty much like having Voiced Vanilla Ice, but he's not there. And Bucciaretti also, which gives him an edge, other than, obviously, he makes 14 intensified panels, while Vampire Strazo makes, he makes 12, so he makes 2 more. You also notice he erases and then replaces. I have playtested this. This does work just like Voiced Josuke does. If you erase a block panel, it will come back as a random unit panel intensified. It's not like the WGR Josuke and Old Joseph, where it'll just come back as like an enhanced block panel or something stupid like that. Which I do like. I like that a lot. It just makes him better. It makes him a more viable eraser for score attacks. Like score attacks where you can't really handle the block panels, like where there's too many on a board, it makes it so he can remove a nice chunk of them at the very least. And what sucks is the only way to really change your score on this one, because as you can see, the second you get out of stand-up, you hit Bucciaretti, and then you hit Kakyoin. The only optimization you can really do for this team is building your combo as fast as possible. It's like at the beginning where I did manual stand-ups to build a little bit of combo. How much you can do there, making 4x4s, as you just saw there, making sure you make a 4x4 or even sometimes a 5x5 every single stand-up time, and your cheers, it's your support panels. Obviously mine are very good. I have the Gur, who I know has over 3,000 base damage. My, what's his name, Formagio is boosted in level 80, so he's doing some nice damage although he's an SR. And both Voice Pesci and Voice Prosciutto are also boosted in the score attack, so I've got a pretty good loadout here. Is this where I make the 5x5? Yeah, the 5x5 is just so satisfying. Look at that. Oh my gosh. And it does some nice damage too, even though it's, you should be using all erase-based stickers, because it's not about your 4x4 or 5x5 in your stand-up time. It's about the fact that you're doing, I want to say around 8 million a loop with your Kakyoin arrays, which was really helped out by the fact that those 6 falling blocks are made, the intensified falling blocks. That helps a lot. But that's all there really is to talk about. This is the best team for this score attack if you don't count the new meta. We're having one of the level 80 enhanced box makers with the ultimate cars, which is why ultimate cars is currently the only SS tier unit in the game. Because if you don't know, the Pitter Patter Pop Discord decided to move their tier list into 2 sections, which is the section with like supporters that you use with units, and then the section with like your main unit. So like for main units, obviously, I like to say obviously a lot. You always need your units like Kakyoin here. This wouldn't be Bucharati's Intensify wouldn't matter if Kakyoin wasn't here. Or like your voice part for Jotaro, or maybe even sometimes your voice Diablo, since he makes the enhanced boxes. He can charge his teammate. Stuff like that. The unit you're centering your team around, like the main basis for it, is the first part of the tier list, which has Kakyoin and voice part for Jotaro at the top. And then the other side of the tier list is supports, who like help your main unit. And Cars is the first ever recorded SS tier unit. Unless voice part for Jotaro initially, unless there was an S tier and they made him SS tier, then voice Cars is the first SS tier. That team is just stupid. Did you see that Ravi got the first ever reported 1 billion score? 1 billion. I don't know, I don't believe this is in score attack. This is probably in a game mode with unlimited skill uses. But just think about that. Actually, I can check the leaderboard right now. Nope. Ravi had the first ever reported 1 billion score, which has so many numbers that the 1 in 1 billion is currently off the screen. It's under his you know, you can set a character to your profile picture in Better Pop that shows him the leaderboards. It is under his profile picture. That's absurd. Like, what in the world? This is the thing I was talking about before with doing it in stand-up time instead of doing it normally. I tried doing that like for a whole run straight because damage is multiplied by 1.5 times during stand-up time, like skills and stuff. But it just didn't work. It just didn't work. That's very unfortunate. There's no 4x4 right there. But, yeah, you make a couple matches, you get it to work. It really helps that Bucharati erases first. Not only does it get it closer to stand-up, but it also charges your partner with the 14-panel erase. So I think he's a very, very solid support unit. I would move him up a little more, but I also don't want to give my opinion because I think I'm a little too biased towards Bucharati, just because he's my favorite character in all of JoJo. So I'm not sure if my opinion's currently 100% like truthful, or it's just because I want to see Bucharati with a really, really good character. But yeah, what I was talking about before, what stinks is that, oh, what the heck? Look, I keep saying there's a top 100 player who keeps setting, he keeps setting his username to characters. Not characters. He keeps setting his username to viewers I recognize. Like Junior with an extra R, who I recognize from my college section, and Sack, a moderator from my Discord. He keeps like changing his names to them. I'm like, oh yo, they got in top, and I'm like, oh wait a second, no, it's just the guy trolling me. I fell for it once. I was like, oh wow, congrats, you got up there. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm not there. Yeah. Sorry, I got off track again. It's just top 5 is currently Voice Diavolo with Ultimate Cars. It's not the hardest to run. You just need Voice Diavolo's EX or I think Voice GER's EX. I really want to play test that. I would really like to. I really hope I pull Ultimate Cars so I can play test that. Obviously with my level 80 Voice GER. But it's just voice. What I like about Cars is that he can be any plus level or anything, because his EX sticker isn't required. The only requirement is that he's skill level 4, because you need to be able to. He needs to be skill 4. What? So you could recharge him? Jeez. Sorry, I'm a little flustered. If you haven't seen from my Discord, I've been doing heavy moving expenses, like whatchamacallit? Oh yeah, I've been being heavy on moving work, which is why I was like, I want to start uploading, and then the apartment landlords are like, surprised, we're increasing the price of the apartment, you have to move out because you can't afford it here anymore. So I've been doing a lot of work to get moving out of my apartment that I've been living in for a long while at least. I can't put an exact timestamp on it, but it's been a while. Otherwise, I would try to be doing like daily JoJo stuff. I figured at least every other day would be pretty solid. For the fact that I know my view count went down because I had not been uploading every other day. I would fortunately, because of school, be forced to take like, you know, 5-day breaks and stuff like that, and people would just stop watching because they're like, he's not uploading. Man, screw him. I'm like, no, please go back. We're getting really close. My subscriber count's still going up. We're getting really close to the 1 million. The 1 million. We're getting really close to the 1,000 goal. It's making me quite happy. Thank you for all of you who've been tuning in and watching this stuff. I appreciate it all. Looking at the rest of top 100, like I said, it's those 5 players that have Voice Diavolo's EX and have ultimate cars, and then there's 1 Vanilla Ice Kakyoin player, and then it's Bucciaretti with Voice Kakyoin, like this team you're seeing right now. There's another Vanilla Ice. Yeah, except for the Vanilla Ices, it is this team. Is it all? It's all. It's the whole leaderboard. This team is the whole leaderboard. Yeah, so there are currently 3 teams that make up top 100. All of top 5 is Voice Diavolo with ultimate cars. And then the entire rest of 6th place to 100th place is Glasses Kakyoin with either Bucciaretti or with Vanilla Ice. Okay. I mean, normally you see other teams, but Fordero is like really hurt by this whole like falling block thing. Because normally you could handle it with characters, it's like, oh, he makes block paddles. But because he makes falling blocks, they don't show up until you start hitting Fordero's like stand-up time matches. The only teams that I've really seen work so far are Polnareff and Iggy if you're trying to use Voice Part for Jotaro. You just try your best to use Fordero at the stand-up time, you make a lot of Fordero panels, and then use Polnareff and Iggy to erase the intensified blocks, which gets you a nice little extra bit of score. Or after stand-up time, you make 1 or 2 matches to make the falling blocks fall, and then use Mista's skill, because Mista at skill 5 does erase 6 block panels, focusing on them, and that is all the ones he drops every loop. So if your Mista's skill level 5, you can go ahead and use him. But other than that, the meta is currently being dominated by Kakyoin, and the very top of the leaderboard is being dominated by Diablo and Ultimate Card. I was surprised to see how well Ultimate Cards came out. Normally, I didn't think too much of a unit like that. I was actually kind of disappointed he wasn't good. And then I saw that team and I was like, oh, huh. It's kind of like how Mask Joseph, the first ever voiced Joseph unit, was actually, all of a sudden he was considered really good because of his synergy with voiced Risotto. And for no other reason. He was not good with any other unit, except for the fact that voiced Risotto was a thing, which made him really good. And I was like, oh hey, that's kind of neat. And yeah, as you can see, the run is ending. I get a little flustered because I realize how frickin' high that score is. Despite the fact that number 1 right now is currently a 1 billion score, and I believe that someone will be trying to do something about it. I consider 142 million a pretty darn good score. Look at that Bucciaretti aura. Woo! Man, he's a cool unit. But, yeah, that'll be all. Alright guys, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe down below, it means a lot. I appreciate all the support. You can check out a recommended video over on the left there, or another one like this one. And I'll see you later.